This was what we learned about endoplasmic reticulum. This is from textbook only. So
Yes, ma'am.
endoplasmic reticulum. What nucleus is present? No, nucleus is present. The nuclear membrane which is present. From there, continuous with the nuclear membrane, there are tubes like this. These tubes are called endoplasmic reticulum. If the endoplasmic reticulum has got ribosomes present on that, then it is called rough endoplasmic reticulum and they make proteins. But some endoplasmic reticulum are found free in the cytoplasm like this. Free means without ribosomes. They can make lipids for the cell. Lipids means fat. Fat for the cell. They also can detoxify. Means whatever toxin is, toxin means the poisons in our food. Whatever toxins are there, that they can remove them. So these kind of smooth, these endoplasmic reticulum is called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. They are found more in the liver because liver is an organ that can detoxify our whatever food we ate. No, from that they can remove the toxin. So these were the two functions. So rough endoplasmic reticulum will make the protein, smooth endoplasmic reticulum will make the lipids and also detoxify. These are the main points we studied. Now these were the diagrams shown. Like here what you see surrounding the nucleus, these tubes are called endoplasmic reticulum. Now here you can see endoplasmic reticulum. These are having ribosomes. So they are rough endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum without ribosomes are called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Like here you can see smooth endoplasmic reticulum without ribosomes. Then we learned about Golgi apparatus. Actually, Golgi apparatus is somewhat related to endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum made proteins and lipids. Golgi apparatus can store them. After storing, they can modify them also. They can change them by combining with sugar. So that is written about Golgi apparatus. So they are a system of membrane bound vesicles. Vesicle means this kind of shape, which is I'll show you. Vesicle means little fat and like this shape is called vesicle. It can be round vesicle also, tube type vesicle also. So Golgi apparatus are vesicles. They are arranged parallel to each other. And when they are arranged parallel to each other like this, if they are arranged parallel like this, then they are called cistern. That's why here one word is there. It's called cistern. And these membranes have got connection with the membrane of endoplasmic reticulum. Why? How the connection comes is material which is made by endoplasmic reticulum will be packed and distributed to various targets inside and outside the cell through the Golgi apparatus. So actual function of Golgi apparatus is this. Golgi apparatus function includes storage, modify and pack the products in vesicles. It means that these proteins and lipids, they will combine with sugar, simple sugar. They'll combine with simple sugar in Golgi apparatus. And that word is actually called glycolipid glycoprotein, though it is not used here. Higher classes you will study like that. Glyco means sugar. So whatever proteins and lipids are made by endoplasmic reticulum, this Golgi apparatus will take and combine with sugar and they will store it. After storing these sugar and protein and lipid and all, will be transported to different parts of the cell. Wherever proteins are required, wherever lipids are required, there they will be transported. Like for example, in our body, enzymes are present. Then different types of proteins are there. Our hair is a protein. Skin is also made up of keratin protein. Like the different proteins are there. So wherever the proteins and lipids are required, there it will be supplied. Now if you look at the diagram, here if you look at the diagram of an animal cell, this is the Golgi apparatus. This is what you see. See, they are parallelly arranged, parallel to each other. There is no connection between them, but they are parallel arranged. So whatever proteins endoplasmic reticulum is making and lipids they are making, they will go through cytoplasm to the Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus will store it, then combine with sugar. Then whatever comes after combining sugar, there are small vesicles here round. These vesicles will go and join with the cell membrane. And you know that cell membrane is made up of protein and lipid, no? So
Yes.
they will go and attach with the cell membrane, and some will go out of cell membrane also to other cells also. So wherever the protein lipid is needed, that will be distributed. But after combining with sugar, that is what Golgi apparatus does. They will add sugar into it. Camillo Golgi was the one who discovered that Golgi apparatus. And for his work, he got Nobel Prize also. Now the next is lysosome. What is lysosome is? Now lysosomes are present in both plant cell as well as animal cell. Whether it is a plant cell or animal cell, both lysosomes are present. Now these cell organelles called lysosomes. This will be today's portion, na children?
Yes, ma'am.
You can take down with today's date. What is today's date? 29, no? Take down with 29.
28, ma'am.
29, ma'am.
29 only. Yes. It is 29. So there are lysosomes. They are present both in plant and animal cell. Lysosomes are those cell organelles. They have some enzymes present inside this. Enzymes are chemicals. They are made of proteins. They have enzymes present inside this. What is the function of this lysosome is that if suppose any other cell organelle became damaged, now you have learned endoplasmic reticulum, no? Suppose one endoplasmic reticulum became damaged. Somebody came and stamped on the cell, and suppose if the endoplasmic reticulum became damaged, then immediately these enzymes present inside lysosome will come out. They'll come out and they will digest the full damaged membranes. Whatever damaged cell organelle is there, it will clean it up. So lysosomes are actually cleaner of the cell. They will clean whatever damaged cell parts are there, that will be cleaned by lysosome. And suppose if there is an injury for the cell got one injury, suppose cell got injury. That time also these lysosomes will come out. Lysosomes will come out and they will digest the full cell. Full cell will be cleaned then. It will be like this. The full cell will be cleaned if the cell is
Ma'am,
damaged.
the rhizosome will die, ma'am. Or
Yes,
it will be alive,
yes. Lysosome also will die. At last, lysosome also will die. That's why lysosomes are also called suicide bag of cell. Suicide means killing oneself, no? That's why they are also called suicide bag of cell. And actual its function is it can dispose waste. So if any waste is there inside the cell, that waste will be disposed or it will be cleaned. Waste
Ma'am,
disposed.
Ma'am, can cells become fossil, ma'am?
Yes, it can become. Yes, it can become fossil. Some of the cells, but it is not living cells. If it is not having cytoplasm, then they will become fossil. Like coconut shell is hard, no? That hard part can become fossil. Or nuts are there, no? Nuts covering is there, no? That is made up. That is made up of a hard tissue. Whatever hard tissues are there, they can become fossil, not the one which is having cytoplasm. Those who have cytoplasm, they will get decayed only. Now we'll go through the textbook, what is written in the textbook. Lysosomes, what are lysosomes? So structurally, lysosomes are membrane-bound sacs. Now sac means this kind of structure. This shape is called sac. Okay. So they are sacs that are filled with digestive enzymes. The enzymes are made by rough endoplasmic reticulum. See this? Because these enzymes are made of protein, no? And protein who is making? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. So rough endoplasmic reticulum will make the enzymes, and that is how these lysosomes are made. So there is a connection between endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and now lysosome also. In the lysosome, whatever enzymes are there, they are made of protein, and protein is made by rough endoplasmic reticulum. So that's why they have written here, the enzymes are made by rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now, lysosomes are a kind of waste disposal system of the cell. They help to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelle. Digesting any foreign material means some of the cells bacteria will get inside. So if the cell does not like that bacteria, then the lysosome will go and kill it. They'll go and clean it. That is called foreign material. And worn out cell means cell gets damaged. Like if suppose you stamped on the plant, that part. So it is worn out. So all these worn out parts and all also will be cleaned by lysosome. So foreign materials that enter the cell are bacteria or any food, as well as old organelles. They all will end up in lysosome. Now lysosomes are able to do this cleaning activity because they have powerful digestive enzyme. So they can break down all their materials. And if the cell gets damaged, lysosome will burst and the enzyme will digest the whole own cell. That's why lysosomes are also called suicide bag of cell. Now from here, what type of question can be asked? You tell me. What kind of question can be asked? If one question, if you were to make, what kind of question can be asked? Multiple choice question. Make one question and tell me. From lysosome, what kind of question can be asked?
These enzymes are made up of dash.
Okay, that can be one question. Lysosome enzymes are made up of dash.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes.
why lysosomes are called suicide bag of the cell?
Yes. Okay. Now, since it is MCQ type, I will modify the question a little bit. Which cell organelle is called suicide bag of cell? Which cell organelle is called suicide bag of cell? Then here options we can write. No, first question option, it can be protein, then lipid, sugar. So lysosome enzymes are made of protein. Which cell organelle is called suicide bag? Options we can put endoplasmic reticulum, B, nucleus, C, lysosome. Then the answer will be lysosome, like that. So this will be the model of your exams because CBSE has changed it to MCQ type, no? So like this only question paper will be put, okay? MCQ type. So you have to read the lesson nicely. Otherwise you will get confused. Okay, now going to the next slide, next cell organelle. Check your mic, children, check your mic. Somebody's microphone is on. Check it. Put it off. So this is a lysosome diagram you can see. Here this is nucleus. Here we can see rough endoplasmic reticulum. And here you can see this is the lysosome. It is sac-like and they have made it big to look it big. And what all dots you see here, they are the enzymes. So
Ma'am,
they are
how
found.
can a small object like that eat such a big cell, ma'am?
That they will keep it under electron microscope. There you can see everything big. Now we will learn the next cell organelle. Now this cell organelle is called mitochondria. It will be more in animals, little less in plants. And we will first learn the structure. I will draw it and you can also draw then if I am drawing. So you have to draw like this. You draw like this. Draw one oval shape like this. Finish drawing, like this you draw. Heading is mitochondria. Mitochondria. After drawing this outline, we have to draw the second membrane also. It has got two membranes. This is outer membrane. Then there is one inner membrane. The inner membrane is folded. It is folded inside. It will fold inside like this. Then it will continue. Again it will fold. Then again it will continue. Again they will form a pocket, like pockets. Then it will come like this. Again it will fold. Then again go like this. It continues. This is inner membrane. Inside membrane is folded like this. Yes. So we can label this as inner membrane. Now what is getting inside and getting folded? They have put one name for it. It's called crista. It's called crista. Now something special is there for this mitochondria. You have learned already about nucleus. Nucleus has inside chromosomes and the chromosomes are made up of DNA. Chromosomes have DNA. This is DNA. That is there in nucleus that we have already studied. Apart from nucleus, even mitochondria has DNA. Mitochondria also has its own DNA. Now, what does mitochondria do? Mitochondria can store some chemicals. That chemical is called ATP. ATP. Now we have to write the full form of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Triphosphate means three phosphate groups are there. Now we have to learn what is ATP. See, when we eat food, you are eating food. After you eat food, the food will go to the stomach. Then it will go to intestine. So the food is broken there in the intestine. What nutrients comes out of food in the form of protein and fat at all, they will get inside the blood. Intestine has blood also, no? So this proteins and all will get inside the blood. This blood will then go to the heart. Heart will pump blood. Yes, sorry. These blood is coming from the heart only. Now this blood which is having nutrients, they will go to different tissues. Whatever tissues are there in your hands, your leg, everywhere, it will go to the cells. After these nutrients go to the cells, now I'm putting green color as nutrients, okay? So after these nutrients go to the cells, what will happen? What the cell will get? When cell gets these nutrients, what will cell get then? When you eat food, what will you get? You're eating-
Energy.
Very good, very good. So when you eat food, you get energy. It is like this. Whatever food you are eating, that food will go to intestine after stomach. Then in the intestine after digestion, nutrients will go to blood. Nutrients will go to blood. Blood will distribute those nutrients to all the cells of your body, including brain. In the brain and other parts, these nutrients will release energy. So there will be lots of energy will be present. So they have,
Ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, how they will release energy to the brain, ma'am? The brain is made up of neurons only, no, ma'am.
neurons are also cells only.
Okay.
See, this is one neuron. This is a cell. See, this is one neuron. So here there is a cell with nucleus and there is cytoplasm. So brain and all the parts, cells in our body, into that when the nutrients enter, when the nutrients will enter, that nutrients will be converted to energy through process called respiration. This you will learn in detail when you go to 10th standard. What is respiration? They will be teaching you. Okay, so just remember this much, that when a cell gets nutrients, that will get converted to lots of energy. Now that energy has to be stored somewhere. It has to be stored somewhere. So that storing takes place in the chemical bonds. Storing takes place in the chemical bonds of this chemical, that is adenosine triphosphate. Tri means 3, adenosine triphosphate. So this is adenosine and then 3 phosphates. Now when you're writing, your hand needs energy. For example, your hand wants energy. Then this phosphate, one of the bond will be broken. This chemical bond will be broken and that energy will come into your hands. So your hands can use it to write. Similarly, for every activity of your body, energy is actually stored in the chemical bond of ATP. And where is this ATP stored? ATP is stored in the inner membrane of mitochondria, that is here. ATP is stored in the inside membrane of mitochondria. That's why I have put it as yellow color. It shows ATP. Whenever you want energy, this ATP chemical bond will be broken and immediately you will get the energy. Then we will name the ATP as energy currency of cell. Like in your pocket, currency is there, means money is there or not, na? Now energy currency of cell is ATP. Because it is inside ATP that the energy is stored. That's why energy currency is ATP. Then we can put a name for mitochondria also. Because it is inside the mitochondria, this ATP is present. Mitochondria can be called as powerhouse of cell. Because it gives power. That is its function. So which cell organelle is called powerhouse of cell? Which cell organelle is called powerhouse?
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Very good. And energy currency means ATP. Suicide bag means lysosome. And this is also cell organelle in which DNA is present. DNA is not present in all cell organelles. Some cell organelles it is there. One is this mitochondria. So that's what is seen in this picture. In this diagram you can see this is mitochondria and you can see here cristae, that is the inner membrane foldings. Then here violet color, what is there? They have shown DNA. And the inside, what place is there? Inside the cell organelle, what space is there? No, that space is called matrix. The space which is there, which I will color with the blue. This space is called matrix. Whatever space is there here, no, it's called matrix. So space inside the mitochondria is called matrix. Matrix spelling M-A-T-R-I-X, matrix. Inside the matrix only you can find the DNA. You can see the DNA here inside the matrix. So these are the parts of mitochondria, and that was the function. Mitochondria gives us energy because energy is stored in ATP. ATP is present in the inner membrane of mitochondria. So it's called, this mitochondria is called powerhouse of cell. The next is plastids. Now, plastids are found only in plant cell. It is found only in plant cell. So this is a plant cell with cell wall. This is a cell membrane. And we can draw the plastids. Now, when we are trying to draw the plastids, we should also remember that plastids are of different types. So they can be called as chromoplast. They can be called as chromoplast. Chromoplast means colored plastids, means it will have some pigment to color. Colored plastids. And another plastid's name is there. It is called leucoplast. Leucoplast means colorless plastids. Colorless plastids. Now, whichever plastid it is, it has a basic structure. First, we'll go to the structure and then we will see the difference between what is chromoplast and what is leucoplast. Chromo means color. Leuco means colorless. When you draw the structure of plastid.
Ma'am, in which language chromo is colored and leuco is non-colored, ma'am?
I'll come to that. First, we will look at the structure. See, any plastid, they have outer membrane like this. They have outer membrane like this. Then there are so many inside membrane which are piled one on top of another, like a pile of coins. As so many coins are sitting, they will be piled like this. These are inner membranes. So many inside membranes are there, but they are piled one on top of another. Each of this membrane is called thylakoid. It's called thylakoid membrane. And a group of thylakoid membrane is called grana. Group of thylakoid membrane is called grana. Then there is a space here inside the plastid, also space is there. Space is called lamellae. L-A-M-E-L-L-A-E, lamellae. I'll make a correction here, children. There is a membrane that connects granas. Okay, there is a membrane that connects the grana. That membrane is called lamellae. Okay, the membrane that connects the grana is called lamellae. Now the space which is there inside. The space which is there inside the plastids, this space is called stroma. The space is called stroma. So these are the parts of any plastid, whether it's a chromoplast or a leucoplast. The plastids have this basic structure. They have membranes piled one on top of another called thylakoid, like this. A group of thylakoid is called grana. Granas are connected together by lamellae, and the space which is there inside the plastid is called stroma. Now we will come to the difference between chromoplast and leucoplast. If it is leucoplast means there is no color is present, and that can be found in potato. You take a potato, you can cut it. If you cut it, what is the color of inside part of potato?
Whitish color.
Yes, white color. That white color is because of leucoplast present. Whereas if you go to any green parts of plant, if you go to any of the green parts of plant like leaf, and if you go to one of the cell of a leaf, then you will find that the plastid has got green color pigment. That green color pigment is present on thylakoid membrane. So if you take any green parts of plant like green stem or green leaf, the thylakoid has got a green color. This green color is called chlorophyll. It is called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is very important for the plants because it can attract sunlight. If there is sunlight there, this sun's energy is taken by chlorophyll. Sun's energy is taken by chlorophyll. And with the help of chlorophyll only, plants can prepare their food. Plants prepare food with the help of this sun's energy only. Their food is in the form of glucose or sugar. So we can see here that if the plastid is having chlorophyll, that means it is a colored plastid. So this kind of colored plastid, all the colored plastid together is called chromoplast. Now if the color is green color, then that colored plastid is called chloroplast. It is called chloroplast if the chromoplast is having green color, if it is having green color. But all chloroplast is not green in color. Now if you take a look at a tomato, if you take a look at a tomato, if you are looking means the tomato is red in color. It is red in color. So that means that whatever here thylakoid pigment is there, that thylakoid color is having red color pigment. It is called red color pigment, which is called chromoplast. So children, see, plastids are of two types. One is called chromoplast and other is called leucoplast. Chromoplast means colored plastids. Leucoplast means colorless plastids. When it comes to chromoplast, the plastid that is having green color, they are called chloroplast. And sometimes instead of green color, they may have red color or they may have yellow color also. They may have yellow color like papaya is there, no? If it's a papaya, papaya has yellow color. It has yellow color. So they also have chromoplast only. What about carrot? Carrot has what color?
Orange.
Yes. That is then that cells are having orange color inside their plastids. Orange color will be there inside the thylakoid membrane. That's why they are having orange color. So that's about this chloroplast. So we can see here, picture you can see, this is a chloroplast. Now what you see here, there is a DNA. There is a DNA inside the chloroplast or inside the plastid. So nucleus has got DNA, mitochondria has got DNA. Similarly, plastids also have DNA. Like mitochondria itself, plastid also have their own DNA and ribosomes. So you can see here DNA. What is shown here in the image photo is which type of plastid? Can you tell me? Look at the color and tell me. This is what type of plastid? Is it chromo or leuco? What it is?
Chromo.
Are you sure? Is it chromoplast or leucoplast? Chromoplast or leucoplast it is? Children, it is not chromo because you can't see any color inside this, no? So what it is? What type of plastid it is?
Leucoplast.
Leuco.
Yes, it is leucoplast, which is found in potato and any white parts of cell, no? There it is found. So
Ma'am?
this is yes.
Ma'am, so why there is a purple color, ma'am?
Purple color, they put stain inside that to see in microscope. Color
Okay,
they
ma'am.
put, that's why. Now this is a chloroplast. You can see they are cutting and showing. So this is how thylakoid membrane is arranged, like a pile of coins. Group of thylakoid membrane is called grana or granum. Then this connections are called lamella. And this inside what space is there, it's called stroma. So they have an outer membrane and they also have an inner membrane. Then they have got lots of thylakoid membrane. In thylakoid membrane only color will be present. So now you identify this picture and tell me what type of plastid is this. What I'm showing in red, what is this? This is what type of plastid? This green. Is it chromoplast or leucoplast?
Chromoplast.
Yes, chromoplast. Chromoplast in which it is chloroplast itself because it is green in color. Now they have shown here tomato. Tomato has got chromoplast and this is green color. So wherever green color is there, they have chlorophyll and they are chloroplast. Actually, chloroplast is a type of chromoplast only. Now next is vacuoles. We will deal with this next class. Okay, children,